Hello, friends, and welcome back to my Abiding Journal and to the monthly journaling club. My name is Kelsey Lee if you are new, and I'm so excited to be sitting down at my journal and desk with all of you to document July. If you are completely new, this is the monthly journaling club, and we get together once a month to document our lives, 1 month at a time. And so far, this is a peek at what 2026 has looked like. Essentially, we do one spread per month, and this has been a really fun year in which we have been playing bingo, and so that is the connective thread throughout all of my entries. I have my bingo boards at the center, and I'm also using them to inspire me throughout the month. That is the entire idea of these, is to give us a bunch of items that we can check off and make ourselves, do that little bit extra effort to try and live a more abundant life by trying to check off some of these things. And so far, I have managed to check off enough to have bingo every single month. And if you are interested in these bingo boards, they are available on my Patreon, so you can check them out there. And this is what we got up to last month, documenting a lot of big things, including entering a brand new chapter of my life with a new job. And July for me has been an interesting month because I did not work at all in July. At least I didn't work in the typical sense of having a 9-to-5 job, because I am between jobs at the moment and start my new role in September. So I've been calling it my sabbatical, and it's been very nice, though also very full. I don't feel like it's as much of the break that people might expect it to be. But a lot happened in July, which we will get into. But before we dive in, make sure, I think you all can hear me okay.
In July,
yep, sounds like it's working. And you all can see okay. So let me say hello to those of you joining us live. We've got Deb with us. Hi, Janie. Megan. Yes, happy Journaling Club Day. Always a great day in the month. Kathy from Colorado. Hi, Brenda. I'm so glad you enjoy the project. Hi, Bertha. Rochelle is with us. I'm glad it's the first one you're able to join. That's so fun. From Washington State, we got Donna. And is it Currit, or is that just your handle and not your name? But hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're able to join while traveling in the US. I did change the time this month because I have a work thing, even though I'm not working yet. I do have a work thing tomorrow, a little conference that I'm going to. And so I wanted to move it a day early and have it on Wednesday, which may just need to be the day going forward. I might do a poll just with changes in my schedule and where my Bible study falls and different things that are happening. Thursday evenings at 7 used to be the best time for me, but I think it would be good to maybe do a reset. If not this year, then maybe for 2027, we can do a poll and try and find the time that works the best for the most people. But obviously, we do like to change it up now and again, not only because of my schedule, but also to accommodate other people's schedules, because if I have it at the same time every single month, then that means some people are never going to be able to join because they may have a conflict, or they may just be 2 a.m. at that time where they live and not work. So I hope that this time of 5 p.m. works better for some of you and that you're able to join as a result. Hi, Alma. And I'm gonna just dive in here and start cutting out my bingo board for this month. That is always what I start with, either the title of the month, or in this case, this year we're doing the bingo boards as my way of putting the title of the month on the page. It's hard to believe that I'm gonna start needing to think about what Monthly Journaling Club is going to look like in 2027, and I have really enjoyed having kind of a theme every single year. So this year we were doing the bingo boards, which has been really fun. And if you're not familiar with it, there is a prize for the end of the year, in which I'm going to pick a winner from all of the submitted bingo boards to win an entire year of my highest tier, which is the Abiding Joy tier on my Patreon, which gives you access to everything on my Patreon and quarterly Happy Meals. So you get seasonal Happy Mail. The fall Happy Mail will be going out in September if you want to join that tier. It's a very fun thing that I get to do, is put together little packets of goodies for some of my patrons on those tiers. But the year before that, we did, well, I can even show you because I have all of the years right here in the same journal. So let's see. If we look back at the previous year, we did, what did we do this year? I guess this was our, is it 2024 or 25? I'm getting confused. Oh, we did the bingo, not bingo, bucket list. That's what I'm trying to get at. We did the bucket list. So you can see I've got my little bucket list items for 2025. And all of those bucket lists are available on my Patreon as well. And you can use them any year, which is really nice. They're pretty evergreen in that respect. And then the year before that, we did, am I in the right month yet? Here we go, 2024, we did our monthly sticker kits, which every single month I made a sticker kit. All of these are stickers from the kit to go with each month. And so they're literally designed to help you monthly journal with stickers and ideas that bring that month to life. So that's what the last 3 years have looked like in my monthly journal. And I'm starting to try and brainstorm a little bit of what we could do for 2027. So if you have any ideas in that respect that you think would be fun, and I do like to think of things that help us to not only document the month well, but also live it well. That's the idea behind having the bucket list. And then the bingo boards is it's also inspiring you to make more memories. So if you have thoughts on what that might look like going into the new year, which I know is a little bit of ways, but I'm starting to think about what it might look like, I would welcome your input. And you can always leave a comment or send me a chat over on Patreon. All right, I think this is, well, I guess I haven't been centering them because that is aligned with where June was, but there's definitely more space on this side than this side. Is that the case here? Yeah, well, anyways, that's where it is now. I already stuck it down. Hi, Megan. I'm glad you were able to join while on your lunch break at least. And that you already started your July entry. So I have a bunch of photos that I've printed out, and I actually printed them out this time just to experiment on the sticker paper that I print out my printables on, because I wanted to see how that might look. Now, the quality is definitely not as high on the sticker paper as opposed to the like glossy Epson sticker, or not sticker, sorry, glossy paper, photo paper that I typically use. I just don't enjoy the reflection of glossy paper, but the colors and the clarity is just so much richer. So it's kind of a give and take of what you want. But for this month, a lot of the photos aren't like a travel experience or really important photos. They represent the thing, but I don't need it to be like the clearest, most beautiful picture to get across what I took the picture of, if that makes sense. And so I was okay trying this month to do it on the sticker paper, even though they're not quite as vibrant as using the photo paper. But the nice thing about printing them on this is I don't have to do any glue. I can just stick them down then. I'm glad that you're enjoying the bingo boards, Kathy. I should have mentioned earlier when I was talking about that the way that you enter is just by heading over to my Patreon. And if you look at any of the bingo board posts, there is a link attached to them where you can basically go to a form where you just upload a picture of your completed bingo board. Even if you don't quite have it fully as a completed bingo, if it shows that you made an effort to fill out your board, I will count it. And you can enter each bingo board for every month for a total of, I won't say 12 entries, I think 11 entries, because I'm going to do the drawing in December, so we won't quite have completed that month yet. But I'd love to know what July looked like for all of you, for those joining live. If you want to leave a comment, maybe like a one-word description, which could be a fun thing to put into your journal. Choosing a word for the month. Now that it's over, what word would you use to describe it? And then you could even include the definition on the page. You know, maybe your word is busy. That could be one of my words. My word might be sabbatical. Maybe it was restful. I hope that was the case for many of you. I have lots of itty bitty photos this month. I was surprised by how many things I had in photo form that I wanted to represent. On the page, just lots of little moments, like even just cute photos of the dog, where it's like, it doesn't represent anything specific, but sometimes it's just nice to have those photos that you want to hold on to and cherish. Like this photo I took and sent to Ben when he was away for work. Because sometimes when Jean sleeps, her two ears both go up and back. And I think it's like the cutest thing. So I took that picture for him and wanted to keep it in my journal too. One really fun thing that Ben and I did this month is we went to Hershey Park, which is very close to where we live, but we don't go very often. And by not go very often, I mean we haven't gone since we've been married 7 years ago. So it was our first time going because we got free tickets from his cousin. And I had never really ridden roller coasters before that. I think I went on one. Maybe it was Space Mountain. I don't know. I remember going to Disney World with my family when I was probably like 8 years old. And my dad and brother convinced me to go on this roller coaster that was in the dark and backwards. And it was like my first roller coaster experience besides just like the really kiddie ones. And I hadn't ridden a roller coaster since then. And, you know, Ben is like, you do all these adventure activities. Like, you're a brave, confident person. Like, you can get on a roller coaster. And I was like, all right. So we did. And I was surprised that I actually did enjoy it myself on the roller coasters. However, I will say that I probably would have enjoyed it more younger in life because I feel like as soon as the roller coaster was over, I had a headache. And I'm not really a fan of waiting in lines for a 2-minute experience, but c'est la vie. When the tickets are free, right? I'd be curious if any of you are roller coaster people. Did you go to any amusement parks or anything like that in July? Festivals, those like big summer activities. Batwing ears, that's so cute. I love that, Sarah. Yeah, it does look like Batwing. Oh, I'm sorry that your word of the year was, or word of the year, word of the month was difficult. Oh, Jay was end of an era. I'd be very curious what made it end of an era for you. And of course, here in the US, we had America 250 with our 4th of July celebrations. So let me see here. I have this photo, which you might not even be able to tell until I hold it up. Look at the size of this flag. This is us, the little itty bitty people, my family. And that's the flag. And this was just a friend's backyard party. He loves 4th of July. He goes all out with very intense fireworks, like big fireworks. And he went to like a local company that had this big flag that they hang outside and asked if they have a flag that he can basically take because they replace it every year. And so they just gave him this giant flag, and then he hung it between his trees. But it definitely gave us the 4th of July vibes for the gathering. That is for sure. Made quite the photo op. But because he hung it up early, I don't know if you can see the like cannonball sized hole in the middle of the flag. He hung it like a week early, even though we warned him not to. And a tree limb with some of the storms that happened went through the flag and punctured it. But thankfully it didn't come down. All right, almost done here. This is my fault for not cutting these out in advance. You know, you would think I have so much free time not working, but that has not been my experience at all. I feel like I am literally just as busy. I don't know how that's the case, but it has been. Though I did have a lot of fun experiences, lots of friend time and family time throughout the month. So this one here is of a pool party that we had on July 1st. We had friends over and went to get some ice cream. That's what this photo is of. And then I have these two photos, which are really sweet, of my family and my pop-up, and then me getting a piece of art from him because he unfortunately did pass away this month, and he was 90, so you know he had a long life. But we celebrated him this month, and I made a whole slideshow for him because I have this big scrapbook that my mom made years ago of that side of the family and their history. And so I have all these photos of my pop-up that are like the old photos from that scrapbook. So I was able to kind of take photos of the photos and turn it into a slideshow for the event, which was nice. And I wanted to show you, I actually have here on the side some of his artwork because my pop-up was an incredible watercolor artist, and so I thought I would show you some of his paintings that I got copies of that I plan to hang in my home. So this is one that I absolutely love, this beautiful little front porch scene. And then he has this one, which he printed on this glossy paper. And I like this one because you can see some of his pencil lines still, and so I thought that was a really neat way that it kind of shows the process. And yes, Pop-Up means grandfather, so he was my mom's dad. And then this one might be one of my favorites. It's just so beautiful. These beautiful pink flowers. And then this one, some birds. And then this is the last one I have, and this one is one of the originals. It's not a print of these poppies that he does, which I'm really excited about the poppies because Not only because he's my pop-pop, but also to hang this by my Camino certificate because I saw so many poppies there. I think that'll be really sweet. So I wanted to share those with you. I thought that you guys would enjoy getting to see some of his beautiful artwork. And yeah, I'm just very excited about that. And maybe what I'll do too, I hadn't really thought about this, but I think it would be fun to maybe scan one of them, like the poppies, and turn it into a sticker for all of you. So if that would interest you, let me know. Because he was such a beautiful artist. Honestly, I wish I had spent more time painting with him and getting to know that side of him, because obviously that was a point of connection for us. I actually remember being like 12 years old and sitting down with him in their sunroom. They lived in the most beautiful home, my grandparents, with these beautiful gardens surrounding it, and we were sitting in the sunroom, and he was teaching me how to watercolor paint. And I remember I painted this daffodil with him. And so that's just like one of my most fond memories of time with my pop-up that I probably will take a moment to commemorate in here, of just listing out, you know, kind of your top 3 memories or top 3 characteristics that you love of that person. Can be a nice way to honor them. And then, let's see, I have lots of photos of Jeannie this month because I feel like, especially being home, like not just working from home in the typical sense of having 1 to 2 days as work from home like I did before, but just being home all the time. I just am with her all the time, which has been really sweet. So I've got us having our Bible study time on the porch in the mornings. And then I have these photos going a run at the White Cliffs of Conoy, so that was a nice experience. We got a gym date, me and Ben. And then we went to the tiny house, my mother-in-law and I, while our friends were away. I always take care of their garden while they're away and stay at the tiny house for a day or 2. And then we've got, of course, our Hershey Park experience. And then I have some random photos. This one is of a blue salamander that Ben found in upstate Pennsylvania in his work. And it's so cool. It was his first time finding this species, which is a big deal for Ben. So this is more for him than for me, because I didn't find it and didn't get to see it in person. But one way to think about your journal, especially if you're married or have a family, is not only just documenting your life, but also your people's life too. So this also will be a treasure for them to look back on. And so when he has big moments, I try to represent that as well. And then I have this 1,000 day streak for Duolingo, which is also Ben. I use Babbel, he uses Duolingo currently. And I was very impressed by him having a Duolingo streak of this amount, and he has worked very hard to keep it. He always does it when we're in bed though, which drives me nuts. Married people can understand. We're literally like in bed, I'm reading my book, and he's speaking in Spanish to his phone on the other side. So that is what our evenings look like right before bed. But it has earned him a 1,000 day streak as a result, so that's good. And then I think one of the last photos I have is this crash landing on you. One of my friends convinced me to try K-dramas, and I got so hooked on this show. I did not expect it to be that enticing, and that I just wanted to keep watching episode after episode. And it's like 16 episodes long. They're all like an hour and a half. So a stupid amount of my July went to watching this show. So I'm like, I need to put a break on any more K-dramas because I can't be committing that amount of time to TV, but it was really enjoyable. So if you have any recommendations, if you watch K-dramas, let me know, because maybe when I'm back at work or something, I will give that a try. All right, so I always kind of do some rearranging of the photos. And I do typically like to try and see if any will line up with the bingo board. So for example, workout outside is over here, and these photos are of an outdoor run. So I could put these over here. You have celebrate your freedom. So maybe we'll stick 4th of July up in that corner. I have this photo of our pet python, Maddie. If you're new, we have a python, and we've started putting him out in the yard when we're like lying on the hammock on a Saturday so he can explore the yard. And so this is him in the garden enjoying himself. It is very entertaining, like how much he does seem to like really enjoy just being out in the sunshine. All right, so the other things that I have aren't many actually. I have this sticker because the last weekend of July and August, we went to the Catskill Mountains and did some canyoneering. Technically, July 31st is when we went to Kaaterskill Falls and got to see it in its full glory, and I got the sticker of it. And it was really neat because it was the first time that we've been to the Catskills in the summer. We usually go in the winter to ice climb, and so we got to see all of the waterfalls that are normally frozen actually flowing, and they were really flowing because they had a ton of rain before we went, and so it was just beautiful. That being said, because I have so many photos already for July, and our main canyoneering day was actually August 1st, I think I'm gonna just save this for August and just keep all of that weekend together for the next month. So we're just gonna tuck that in there. And then I also have these from an arts and crafts fair that I held on to. Even though that event was in June, I thought I might want to use maybe either the Celebrating America's 250 on this page, or I think what I might do is just cut out the fireworks and put that by my flag photo. Since the fireworks were really special, in part because it was thunder and lightning right when we were setting them off, and I don't know how safe that was, but that's what they did. And it was really neat because the fireworks would go and then a streak of lightning would cut across the sky, and I have a really cool video of the one lightning, and you can hear us cheering for the lightning so much more than the fireworks, and we just were like, sorry, God's cooler. Like, the natural show in the sky is so much better than anything we can do artificially. Oops, I'm dropping things. So maybe I'll put that like in this corner. That could be nice. And this again is just a free pamphlet from a craft fair that I went to that I held on to. So this is a great example of the types of free things you can find if you just keep an eye out for them. Be looking anytime you see junk mail, a tissue box, literally so many things have beautiful patterns on them. So all you have to do is think about what you would like to use in your journal and hold on to it. So I'm just looking at some of your comments. Yeah, I think a sticker would be fun. Yeah, a good way to get other people to enjoy his work too. Hey, 166 is a very good Duolingo streak. You should be very proud of that. It's so easy to miss a few days and it just all goes away. So I totally get it. I've really admired Ben for his tenacity with it. Yes, Lexi, Duolingo is free. I believe there's a paid version to be ad-free, but otherwise it's totally free to use. And that's what Ben uses. He doesn't pay. I know I just organized all of those on this page and I just took them all off anyways, but it'll be a lot easier to cut this. Yeah, you went camping that weekend too. Yeah, we were camping and then canyoneering during the day, so it was a nice combination. So for the August bucket list, one of them I put on there was, I believe, have a campfire. So hopefully you can check that off. I will admit that I sometimes look out into what I have coming up in a month when I'm thinking about what to put on the bingo boards. And then I make sure that that item is on the bingo board so that I can check it off. That is the beauty of making them. So that's a cute little addition to the corner here. I'll just trim the top of this off. Put that there. See, that is the best part about printing the photos on sticker paper, is it makes it so easy then to just put them down. And then we also saw Young Washington in theaters that weekend. So I don't know, do I want to put the whole ticket down? I feel like I should cut it or rip it because that's a lot of space. I don't really need the row. Yeah, like that would be good. I kind of just jumped right into pasting some of this stuff down, but what I normally do is first fill out the bingo board, so maybe I should backtrack a little bit and do that. I wonder what color I should do this month though, because it feels like it should be blue. I think that's what I did last month. Yeah, I did like a light blue. but I just can't really imagine doing anything different than that. I wonder if this would be too deep. I think it could work. I don't know how much it's gonna... Okay, I think we're good. I wasn't sure if it would come across too dark and not really be able to read what's underneath, but it looks like you can read it okay. Let me bring you guys a little bit closer. That's totally okay, Deb. I do that too when things are kind of on the cusp of the last day of the month or the first day of the next month. I might just like finagle it to work for the prior month if that's when it happened. You can totally do that. Definitely listen to many a thunderstorm because we had a lot of thunderstorms in Pennsylvania this month. I did eat a hot dog. I did watch childhood favorites, and I worked out outside. So this whole row actually could have just gone straight down. So we got bingo right there. And then let's see. See, I put try a new outdoor activity on here because I was going to do canyoneering, but I technically did that in August. But I guess it really isn't really my first time because I had done it in Australia, so. Okay. Beach, mini golf. All of those are no's, sadly. Watch the sunrise. I think I did that at least once. Buddy read a book with somebody. So we finished the Emma Lyon series. I actually just finished the 8th book. Volume 8 today, friends, and now I have to wait. I had 8 volumes that I could just read one after the other, and now I have to wait for the next one, and I'm not okay. Thankfully, I'm so glad it didn't end on a cliffhanger because I would have been really sad if it ended on a cliffhanger and I had to wait. But there are just so many mysteries yet to be revealed and like questions that I have, and I won't get to know any of them. Maybe I'll put this over here because I have tried a new movie or book genre, and K-dramas definitely falls into that category. Has anybody else seen this? Crash Landing on You? Did it suck you in as much as it sucked me in? Oh my goodness. I was just hooked. Oh no, the audiobook had a 7-week wait. That is tragic. I was very fortunate in that, well, one, I have all the books in paperback, so I could read them that way, but I also was listening to them on audio and doing a mix, and when I was listening to them on audio, they all were magically available at my library, and apparently where I live, nobody else is interested in reading them. And that's great for me because, yeah, I just had unlimited access and could keep renewing if my time ran out. So that was very nice. Children's classic. I can check that off because I finished Anne of Avonlea. So I'll be moving on to Anne of the Island next. Now that I've finished the Emma Lyon series because that's where I've been spending most of my time. Call up a friend. Just a chat. I did have a chat with some of my high school friends. Complete a house project. I set up a rain barrel, which I'm super excited about. It's been so wonderful to just get rain for the garden to water our plants instead of having to use our own, water from the borough. Definitely, I think will save us some money too. I don't think I've done a summer craft. I did watch Fireflies, so I guess we can count that. And that gives us a second bingo. And then I did not go on my social media or really use my phone except to take photos this last weekend. So I'm going to check that off. And we visited a waterfall. All right, I think that is my completed bingo board. I don't think I made a lemon cake this month. I made a ton of lemon cakes in June, I think. If you want to make my lemon cake, I have that recipe on my Patreon in our summer newsletter. It is very, very good. Yeah, I'd love to know if anybody else read a children's classic and what it was to check that off. So Kathy said she read A Wrinkle in Time for a kid's book. I've actually never read that, so I'm curious. It sounds like you've really enjoyed it. And has anybody else read a children's classic or tried a new movie or book genre? Let us know in the comments. Maybe I'll put this, I'm gonna just try and get a lot of these down and then maybe do more of my decorating over top. So we've got our tiny house. We had delicious poke bowls at this restaurant that we went to while we were staying there. So that's what this photo is of. And then we have our outdoor exercise with our runs. So we have a run at the Gamelands. And then these are our runs at the cliffs. This is what I love about monthly journaling is, just print out your favorite photos of the month, print out on sticker paper, and then it's literally just a matter of peeling and sticking, and then you can throw a few cute photos on top, add a few captions, and call it a day. And just like that, you have so many memories documented that otherwise would be lost in your phone, perhaps deleted from your phone accidentally. You never know. That happens with social media and with our phones and our storage. But nobody, unless, God forbid, there's a fire or something like that, or I don't know, mildew damage from flooding, like nothing is going to happen to a tangible item like a real journal. I think I'll just keep putting like all of these together because these all basically represent time with friends. So I like sometimes doing like almost like a little waterfall collage down the page of like things. maybe I'll cover up part of this. I think I'm going to just cover up the bottom. Maybe I'll do this. I don't love the funeral home like number written on it, but I guess I can always cover that up too with something. But I think what I might do is, I don't know, do I want to do this as like a tip-in? I don't really want this really big on the cover, in part because this photo, I was like, saw this on the obituary and I was like, is that AI? Like, what is this photo of him? And apparently it literally is. Like, they took a photo of him and then like AI'd a suit onto him, which I don't really know how I feel about that. I feel like you can just find like a good photo and use that. But I guess that's what people do nowadays. So I don't really want that like one giant in this page. I think I'd rather have the ones of our last time with him and him giving me his paintings. That means a lot more to me than this not technically real photo on the back. So that is what I'm gonna do, I think. We'll tip that in. Write a love letter to your AC. I see there's a question about that, and I regret having put that on the bucket list because I didn't realize that AC wasn't like a more common shorthand for air conditioner. That's what it stands for. It's supposed to be a joke because it's hot in the middle of summer, that you should write a love letter to your air conditioner or your fan, you know, like an ode to your air conditioner, saying how much you love it and that it keeps you cool in the summer, making you feel like you're by the pool, la 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 la. So that was the idea behind it, but I don't think anybody got it because you were not the first person to ask the question. So many people asked me that question. So I thought it would be like a cute, funny thing that you could do, is like write a love letter to your air conditioner in your journal. But I honestly didn't even do it, so shame on me. You could, if you want, like say you almost had bingo in this line or in this line, you could write a like haiku love poem to your AC just right here in your journal, and then you could check it off. And that would be fun. All right, let's see. I think we've got just a few more photos. I don't know what happened to my other... Oh, this is Hershey Park. All right, we'll see where we put that. I'm not sure yet where I'm gonna put these, so I'm just gonna set them to the side because I wanna figure out some other things before I put more photos down. So let me look at my notes for the month. Somewhere, I think, I have, I don't know if I have them in here, my Emma Lyon stickers. There they are. Da-da-da. So if you're not familiar with our book club, the Abiding Journal Book Club is a quarterly book club in which we read one book a quarter together. That is a journal format. So first quarter we read The Secret Diary of Adrienne Mole. It was not my favorite. I gave it 3 stars, and this is the page that I created for it. And then I haven't created yet my page for Emma Lyon. I plan to do that as a video, but I do have a bunch of stickers printed out because for each of the books that we read together, I'm designing a little sticker sheet for you to use in your journals. And so our next book, if you want to read it with us, is going to be The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. So we went from very light and happy to not so happy, though I think there are some beautiful moments in here. But I actually never read it, so I'm really excited to read The Diary of a Young Girl. So if you're interested in reading that with us, you can be reading it right now, and then we will have our discussion in, I think, October, because I think it's what, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, so I think you have through September to read it, and then we'll have our discussion mid-October, I think. But I wanted to use maybe, should I use this one? I could use this, which is really just the title of the sticker sheet, but it has the Emma M. Lyon. And put that here for our buddy read. And then maybe do that. I want to use this one, but now I'm not sure because of, I want to put it here. Maybe I can lift this up. Oh, no, I can't as easily because it's a sticker. Okay, the downside of the stickers is revealed. No, it came up okay, so that's good. Emma Lyon. Yeah, if you didn't yet see our discussion, so we do a live book discussion on my YouTube channel, similar to how we do our live monthly journaling sessions. And this was a really fun book discussion, not only because the books are so good. If you haven't read them, I highly recommend, but also because my mother-in-law, or mother-in-love, Laura, joined me. And so that's Ben's mom, obviously. And she is a kindred spirit. I love her dearly. And we had such a fun time. I don't want this here. Discussing the books because we both read them together and absolutely adored these books. Highly recommend. I don't know what to do with Maddie. I'll just stick him up here until I figure it out. He doesn't have to go on the page. I just thought it was cute. But there we have Emma Lyon. Maybe I'll use the well too. Well, she always says that. Maybe I'll do like well, and then say like I'm hooked under it. Say Oh, well, I'm totally hooked. I don't love that. I think because the blue border, like, it doesn't stand out. I don't know. I am regretting. Maybe, here's an option. I can just put her over it. There, that works. And then I can try and rewrite it over here. Okay. Totally. Say new favorite series. There, that's much better. See, I'm really glad I just moved the sticker and covered up the lettering I didn't like, so I could fix it and do, I think, much better lettering next to it. So if you make mistakes like that, don't be afraid to put a sticker over it, move something if it's not totally adhered to the page, and see how it might work differently. Thanks for sharing an idea for 2027, Bertha. We'll put this here with some washi tape. Let's see. This. I'm not sure about that. See if one of these, maybe. This is a washi tape set that I got from Amazon for $10, I think. And I use it all the time. It's linked in my Amazon storefront, but it's a really great set. I think this one could be good. Has like a nice navy blue to keep with our color scheme. And then I usually like to put a piece on each side. I will say it's not the stickiest. So if that's where you want to use a decorative washi, but you really want to make sure it doesn't come off, you can always put a clear tape that you know is going to hold better underneath it, and then just do the decorative tape over top. I think this is going to hold okay though, and that won't be necessary. The pen that I am using is a Tombow Funosuke. A friend who kind of speaks Japanese told me the pronunciation, and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to continue to say it wrong because I don't think I can make that sound. She said it makes like a sh sound or something at the end here, but yeah, it reads like that. It's the Funosuke pen, brush pens from Tombow. And this is from the colored pack. So they have black ones that I use all the time, and then they have a colored pack. And these are the hard tip ones. The soft tip is nice too, but I find that the hard nib is a lot better for more control, and especially for smaller lettering versus doing bigger lettering. But yeah, they're my favorite pens to do hand lettering with, so highly recommend. All right, let's think now. I may want to use, let me take a look at these. So if you haven't seen them yet, I have my newest printable collection now available over on Patreon, and this is the new chapter printable sticker kit, and honestly it might be one of my favorites that we've done. I just love the color palette so much. I love the little watercolor books. I just love it. I just think it's so, and I love what it represents too, because I think you can use it for so many different things. It could literally be just for a new month, like a new job, having a baby, moving house, right? So many things like that, making a bold decision. It could literally just be for stepping into a new personal season and how you choose to live your life. And it also could be for like reading. Like it could be taken more literally and be about reading and a new chapter in the book that you're writing or enjoying. So there's just so many ways that you can use this kit. And like I said, it's available on the Abiding Hope tier and up. And if you want to join on my lowest tier, which is the Abiding Love tier, then you also could get the journal prompts version, which will give you these 2 sheets. And if you were on there earlier, the attachments weren't working for some reason. I re-uploaded them, and so I think they should be working now if you want to check again. But there's just a lot of really cute stickers on here. And the whole idea of the journal prompts ones is to inspire you to do some writing. So for example, writing about lessons that you're taking with you from your previous chapter, writing about how you knew it was time to turn the page and begin again, writing about the beauty of change. So there's a lot of ways that you can use these. Maybe I'll just use this little stack of books. I should say too, like as you can see here for the journal prompts, I print 2 to a page, so both sheets on 1 page to save paper. And you can do that with the larger sticker sheets as well. Like if these are really big for you, because they are, I think these are like 3 by 3, you know, depending on what journal size you're using and how big you want them to be, you can always make them smaller by printing 2 to a sheet or just by scaling them down. I prefer to provide larger stickers that you can scale down rather than too small of stickers that won't look good if you try to scale them up. if that makes sense. So I'm thinking I could put this here since it's a new series that I love, and say that I read volumes 1 to 8. Debating. I think this could be cute with the blue along the side. Thank you. I'm glad you like them. I lost my scissors. Where are they? Got way too much happening on this desk. I don't know. They're gone. That's what happens when I never put anything back in its original spot. As I go, I just leave it all out on the desk, and then I lose it in the piles. So I can put this. It's okay, Jean. I know. Are they barking? Jean hears the neighbor dogs reacting to something, so she feels she has to react too. Then maybe what I'll do is use this again. Sometimes I like to put just layers of washi tape in strips, and that can be just like a fun little design on the page. And then it brings it in here too. And then what I'll probably do is so that it's mirrored over here. I don't know if that's the right spot though. Could be here. I think I do want it over here though. Here, I could do it like along the ticket. There we go. So it just kind of draws your eye through the page and through the entry. And having things in threes is always a good number to keep in mind. If you use something twice, just add a third moment of it and it'll bring the page together nicely. All right, now I think I want to use Stream My Life, just start on to the next chapter. Maybe I'll use that one. Just simple. Or that every ending carries the promise of a new beginning. That one could be nice because I'm kind of in that in-between moment of the ending, but the new beginning hasn't totally started yet. So I think I'll do that. This sticker paper, I was like, why did this come out so vibrant? And I realized that this piece of sticker paper got mixed into my other sticker paper that I typically use. And this is actually the sticker paper that I use for stickers that you can put like on water bottles and things like that, like more like real stickers. But the paper is still thin, that it works well in a journal. It's a little bit more pricey because it is waterproof, but I'm tempted to just get it all the time because you can definitely tell a big difference in the quality of the colors on this sticker paper, which the back says digital label. I think I have them linked in my Amazon storefront. But yeah, I was like, whoa, why are these ones so much nicer than, you can tell the difference in just how vibrant they are between the two papers. This one is the, oh wait, this also says digital label. Wait, I'm confused. But this is not the same. This is yellow. This is the one that I get from Mako, I think, or Koala. I think this is the Koala brand. I'm sorry, I'm just being confused and sharing my confusion with you now. I'm pretty sure this is my Koala brand. So I don't know what this brand is. There we go, new beginning. I think what I might do, I don't know, do I want to use this? Or I could also use, I got these fun paper pads from the washi tape shop. Look how cute these are. I love that one. They're double-sided, which is really nice to do like tip-ins. But they have some really cute ones like these. That could be cute with the blue. What I want to do is create a list of some things that I accomplished this month because I feel like I had such big expectations for like all the stuff I was going to get done in my time off. And then when it doesn't happen in the same way that I anticipated, or not as much, or not what I thought I was going to work on gets done, I can get down on myself. And so creating a list for myself at the end of the month saying like, no, look at all that you did. You had a very full month and you can be proud of what you did accomplish is very important to me. I think these colors quite work. I think I'm going to go back to the idea of using the printable So obviously this journaling page for you to do some writing on is decently big, and I'm not going to use the full piece. I think I'm going to just cut it down. But I think it'll make a nice place to list out some of what I did accomplish. So let's see if we do it at this butterfly. What did I just get on here? Am I bleeding? You ever do that where you're like, where'd this come from? It's like suddenly a mark on your page. Not sure. All right, so I'm gonna put this down here. Maybe next to it, I'll put this one that says the story isn't over, just as a reminder to myself that even if I didn't get done everything that I wanted to in July, I still have time before I start my job because I don't start till September. And B, even if I started my job tomorrow, it's not like my life is over. At that point, like I can still do things that I want to get done after my job starts. It's just obviously easier and feels like I want to make the most use of the time that I have off now. That's all. But it's a good reminder for myself that there's still time even after I enter the new season. It's also fitting to put here, the story isn't over, because having it right after my pop-up and talking about him, you know, it's a reminder that his story isn't over, like death isn't the end. So it's got multiple meaning being in that location. And then I think I'll cut out some of these butterflies to maybe use elsewhere on this page, because I don't want them to only be in that space here. So they might feel a little odd if they're not carried throughout in any way. So by just putting some onto this page as well, it'll help tie it together. I'm going to put this one down here, kind of like it's perched on the end of the book And we'll do the same thing here. There we go. All right, coming together slowly but surely. Maybe we will get out the alpha stamps. Long time no see with those. You know why? Because they're a bit of a pain to clean, but I do love using them so much. These are also an Amazon purchase, and I love that you have the uppercase, lowercase, and numbers. But they're such a fun way to add to your page. So let me get some ink. I always use the VersaFine pigment ink. Got my black here. All right, so what do I want to write above this for my list? It could be things I'm proud of. It could be what I accomplished. Could be like, you should be proud. Like, there's much to be proud of. I don't know. I'm a little stuck. If anybody has any thoughts for like a list of things you accomplished that you can take pride in. For example, it could be like 1. Set up a rain barrel. Very proud of that. Say multiple runs with Jeannie. My Camino vlog, that was a ton of work. If you haven't seen it yet, it would mean so much to me if you go and watch it. I put a lot of work into it, and my travel vlogs, I know, never do well because it's not what most people are here for, but they mean a lot to me, and I did a ton of work on it. And I think that you'll enjoy it because it also weaves in my journaling and gives you a little bit more of an insight into what I'm journaling about when I do my flip through. So yeah, I edited that. What else did I do? Slideshow for pop-up. I think I can just put in like house chores because since I've been off, I've been trying to do all of it basically so that Ben doesn't have to do much while I'm off. I feel like I'm a proper housewife with no children, not even a stay-at-home mom, just true housewife. And honestly, it gives you a lot of appreciation for like how much work that is. If you were just doing that full time of running your house and cleaning your house and actually staying on top of everything, that is a full-time job. Like, I fully can get behind the 50s lifestyle of that being a viable form of work for women, versus feeling like everybody has to do all of that and also work a full-time job. Oh, that's okay, Sarah. No pressure or rush. Watch, yeah, definitely. It's a long one, so it's a good one to stick on when you've got like a good amount of time to just sit back. All right, what else did I do? Vlog, slideshow, house chores. I'll put pleasure reading because, like, that is an accomplishment. I mean, I read basically, I think, all of the Emma books almost in July. That's 8 books right there. You know, that's a lot of time. Oh, I love that. That's a good one, Deb. Wins along the way. Good effort. Pleased with my work. That's good too, Bertha. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Like, maybe I'll just say like small wins. You know, because I think that's my problem is I'm looking for big wins rather than adding up all of the little wins. But this is a great idea for you to do in your journals as well, especially when you've had a month where you're feeling like that, where you're feeling kind of down on yourself for not doing more. It's one of the reasons I really enjoy monthly journaling is because it helps you to look at the full picture of the month and say, like, why are you down on yourself? Like, look at all that you did. Look at all the time that you spent with friends and family. Look at the books that you read and the time that you spent taking care of your body, going on runs, reading the word, right? Caring for sick relatives. There's so much in a month when we take the time to unpack it in this way. And then also on top of this saying, but what did I accomplish amidst all of this? I think is really powerful to remind ourselves just how much we are on the right path. Just say time with friends. I feel like I have to do 10 now that I've got a list of 7. Well, I will keep brainstorming, but oops, this is what happens every time I leave a stamp pad open. I cannot, it's like my fingers just gravitate towards it. Ay, ay, ay. I don't think I even have oh yes I do. I was worried I didn't have any baby wipes present. Anybody else just like cannot leave ink or stamp pads or anything open because I'll stick my fingers in it. I'll put the whole paper in it. Okay, let's write little wins, but I'm gonna do maybe I'll do wins bigger and then do little through it. Ooh, you know what's a fun technique that I haven't done in a very long time? Take a strip of washi, my think this one will do. All right, so you're going to take a strip of washi and put it through the center of where you want to write something. And then I'm going to write over the washi. I'm going to try not move it though, which I just did. So we'll see how that turns out. So for the I was doing it right up against the W, partly because I'm realizing that I don't have a ton of space to be able to fit my S on here. Okay. And then S's are always the hardest letter for me to do more of like a bubble letter. I need to work on it. I think if we do that. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And then we can pick up the washi because it's not staying on the page. It was just to stop the ink from going in that space, like so. And then we can write another word through that line. In this case, we're going to write little. And let's see, did I give myself enough space with that? Maybe I'll use these for something else. Because I'm worried it might not look as clean as if I just write in pen. I think that's what I'm going to do. Like a good thicker pen. Maybe little wins. It looks okay. Maybe it would have been better with the letters. We'll never know. Yeah, exactly. The gratitude journaling, right, helps you to notice the little things, little wins, little surprises and joys of the everyday. This feels like it's begging for a few sparkles. I'm going to color these ones in with the blue. All right, so I'll think more about what my other little wins are. Let's use the letters instead of writing the little wins as I was going to do. I think instead I will write pool. For a time by the pool. I'm going to do K-drama over here. It is quite the guessing game of where to put the stamp. So sometimes you're not quite on the mark. But it kind of adds to the fun of the look. I think I'm just gonna have to move it down here. I kind of like that it's all helter-skelter. K-drama. That is one of the videos I plan to work on in August. I'm gonna try and get there, is a hand lettering video, so stay tuned. I think I'm gonna write like, I guess I like so I need an S. Like, I guess I like K-dramas now. Yeah, didn't expect to be somebody who likes K-dramas, but I was very smitten. I enjoyed it. Do some like real stars. Kind of continues the stars from up here. What did I put last month? America 250th. Okay. We'll do, I feel like I need, so I got the pool, I got K-dramas. Down here, I'm gonna write runs. Runs, and I'll just write with Genie. Pool. All right, let's close this before I stick my hand in it again. And then we'll write pool. With friends. And runs with Kira Genie. That is my puppy's name, who just got up because I think she's saying, and we haven't gone for a walk yet today, speaking of. That's what she's telling me. It's like, that's what we're doing after the live. We're gonna go for a little walk. All right, morning visits from Julie because her brother lives near me and she was staying at their house for a week, and so she kind of would just like pop by since I wasn't working in the mornings, and so that was really nice. Julie, and her son Theo. All right, plus tiny house. We'll switch back. Getaway. So basically just writing out captions for a lot of these photos to explain what's going on. little arrow. Those are fun sometimes. And do like another arrow here. Just to kind of, again, I like to create symmetry between pages and what's happening so that if there's something happening over here, it's also happening on this side. All right, let's see. Let me look at my list here. Oh, I did do a lot of planting as well, fixing up. We have this slope because our house kind of sits on like a little hill slope a little bit off of the street. We actually have 2 sycamores on either side of our house too, so we call our house Sycamore Hill because it sits on like the teeniest bit of a hill. So it's kind of like a joke. Because we love how big like manors and stuff have names. And so we were like, if our house had a name, what would it be? And we picked Sycamore Hill, kind of playing off of the fact that we're on this teeny little hill and we have the sycamores. But because of the hills, we have slopes that get really dry and not great for planting. And so I just put in a bunch of different plants on the hill slope is my point. And so I need to document that somehow on these pages. And we had a lot of big thunderstorms too, which I feel like I should put something about thunderstorms here. Could even just do like a nice cloud shape. And then let's put some lightning through it. We actually lost power the one day because lightning hit the pole right outside our house. Thankfully, I like saw it hit too. It was kind of really scary. But it could have been a lot worse. So we were grateful that it did not hit our house and they got the power, not paper, the power, that's not what I want, up and running pretty quickly. It was like 4 hours. But it was nice because we had like a rainy, it was on a Saturday. So we had like a rainy Saturday reading in the living room by the light of, you know, the light coming through the windows and waiting for the power to come back on. So there we go, little thunderstorm action. You might also write about news things like wildfires in Canada. So we had a lot of smoke impact from those here in the Northeast. Of course, the impact is far worse for those a lot closer to the actual fires happening. So they've been in our prayers. And yeah, you might write about that. You might write about wars, unfortunately, that continue to happen. Or perhaps you want to put in things about like the World Cup. I personally, for some reason, didn't catch the World Cup bug, even though everybody else in the US seemed to, which is funny because I actually really love soccer. I played soccer, but I just never really got into watching it that much. So I didn't really follow that buzz very much. But I know that was a big deal for a lot of people. So definitely be thinking about that kind of thing too, not just what's happening in your regular day, but also what is happening in the world around you. I hate when there's just not quite enough room and you have to write onto the... I don't like that. I don't like that. Maybe I should just stick a salamander over it. Should I? I kind of forgot that I have all these other stickers, photos to put down, so maybe I do need to do that, because I did actually forget. I was thinking like, how am I going to fill all this space? And then I remembered just now that I have all these photos I stuck to the side. Yeah, we're just going to put that down because it's pretty self-explanatory, right? Like, I don't need to write thunderstorms under the thunderstorm cloud. The image tells you that there were lots of thunderstorms. All right, Ben found a blue salamander. Very cool. All right, and then I need my... Here, I'll put this one down here because it's kind of like tiring Jeannie out. That's what she looks like after our runs. And then we have our gym dates. Maybe I could put that over there. And then this is us at Hershey Park on the Flume. And then this is one of those like pictures of the picture that they take of you on the roller coaster. So there's like the words over it where they're like, you know, buy your picture for this much. But look, I was not spending $15 on a picture of us on the roller coaster, but this represents it well enough of our faces. So that is what is going in the journal. And I'll probably even write a little note that says, you know, I was not about to spend $15 on this photo. Maybe we should draw a roller coaster. we need to get some more red in here because we have it over here, but not really elsewhere as much. So we'll make the cars of our roller coaster red. Kind of what they look like in my head. I'm not really referencing any photos, so that'll have to do. Say Hershey Park. Say I for roller coasters. And ... and I think I liked it. LOL. Hershey Park happy. Is that their tagline? I guess I should know. I live here, but well, I don't know that we were Hershey Park happy because I think we only rode like 7 rides over the course of basically an entire day. We waited in line for 2 hours for the Great Bear roller coaster, which I guess is like their most popular, but it was a very, very crowded Saturday. But we had to use the tickets before they expired, so, you know, can't really complain when you have free tickets. But we both kind of confirmed that we're not really amusement park people. Like, it's fun for a day once in a blue moon, but I definitely am not somebody who needs to have season passes to an amusement park like that. But it was fun for the day. That's right, so crowded, but we had fun. Ooh, you know what would be cute for the Hershey Park if I did a little like Hershey Kiss in the middle here, maybe, because that's something they're known for. They're Hershey Kiss chocolates. Just like that. That's cute. And we'll make it silver. Hi, Jean. I know. You want to go out for your walk. I'm so close to being done the page that I think I'm just going to finish it, because you very rarely get to see me actually finish a page live, because I usually do like half of it or 3/4 of it, and then we're at time, which we technically are because I try to keep these to 2 hours. But why not, since we have the time and we're so close to being done, I think we'll just finish it. There we go, little Hershey Kiss. When did this start? The live stream started at 5. So we started at 5 today, even though we typically start at 7 other times. And I'm sorry if there was confusion about that. But yes, we started at 5 today. If you missed the beginning, you can always catch the replay. All right, let's see. I need something here. I don't want to write like gym dates. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was a little bit confusing in how I mentioned it, because I accidentally had old text when I shared it earlier today that said 7 p.m. on July 2nd, which was the last month's, and then I edited it. So it might have been confusing. So I do apologize. Hi, Marion. Glad you are here. Love hour. Maybe we'll do red, because like I said, we haven't used a lot of that. Our gym dates. So a lot of times we'll go to the gym together, like on a Sunday after church, and I always enjoy, doing our workouts together. It's a fun thing we get to do together. We just go to Planet Fitness. Ben has a Black Card, so I usually do my workouts at home. I just did one earlier today with Nourish Move Love. But when I want to go to the gym with him, then he could just use his Black Card to get me in, which is nice. We got our ice cream. All right, let me see if there's anything else in my notes that I don't have represented on here. Oh, I do have had a few brunch dates with 2 of my friends. Oh, and then the planting, that was the other thing I wanted to put on here. So I feel like I should do something about the lunch dates, maybe over here. Maybe I can use, like, this kind of has some of the colors that match this. I don't know what that is. So I could stick that. I think I'm going to do that. Let's just grab it and cut it down to size. I'm just kind of eyeballing what looks about right. We can always trim it more. Yep, not quite. Want to work this way? That's pretty good. And then Caragini is getting really annoyed with me. She's like laying by the door. It's like, please take me for a walk. See, because I like how the colors kind of match the colors in this, and the gray of this kind of matches the gray here. Again, I say it all the time, but just tying it all together with those like things. So I'm gonna put that here. And then maybe we can find doing acrobatics over here trying to grab stuff. So I'm thinking, ooh, this ice cream is cute. Maybe there's something, yes, representing like a coffee that we could use. This is one of the summer and spring cafe kits from the washi tape shop that I shared in my last haul from them. Ooh, like that one could be good. Iced coffee. Or this one, or that one, or that one. Some more spring. Here we got summer. I just love, love, love the washi tape shop. Ooh, this waffle's perfect because we did have waffles on our first brunch date. So that we'll definitely use. And then all right, I think I had a hot coffee, so I don't really want the iced coffees. Oh, and look in the garden. We can use that for representing the gardening that we were going to document too. Look at this. It's all coming together. So we'll put our little waffle on here. And then we need a coffee cup. I think I'll just do this one. Perfect. I think what I'll also do is when you open this, we'll have the ice cream cone under it. And layer it. Oh, I don't want to cover Eric's face. Okay. There we go. So I have our little ice cream cone. See, I told you this wasn't very sticky. So I'm probably going to need to put some tape over that. This lemonade is really cute. All right, and then we have, all right, what do we want to do? Do we want to do, that's too much, I think. I think maybe we can do the garden seeds. here. Maybe I'll just put down like a little flower. And then I can write, yay, that looks so cute. Anyway, all that. And this is just one part of the washi tape, like one strip, and then the pattern repeats like 10 more times. So you get all of these stickers like times 10, which I just think is incredible. Like the washi tape shop, when you look at their prices, you might think, oh, like it's a bit expensive, but you do get so much and such high quality stickers for the cost. Also, if you join the Happy Mail tier, I do now typically include some stickers like these from the washi tape shop just because I get so much from them and I like to share the wealth. So if you just want to try them and get more of an assortment because you don't think you'll use a ton, you could join the Happy Mail tier and you'll get some of those and some other stuff from my journaling stash. All right, so now we can write just write brunch dates. Just do like a little ribbon and then write with over it. Just another cute little way that you can change up your writing. With. Caitlin and Emily. There we go. Do some more little sparkles. I don't always fill them in, but I'm kind of liking that look for this page. All right. I feel like actually I'm just gonna grab another little flower, like these three, to stick in this corner. So that corner was looking like it needed a little something, and I didn't want to do more sparkles there. Oh, but I've got another corner here. This corner will do sparkles. Every little corner needs to be filled. Just because that is the look that I do for these pages. I do really like the look of negative space in journaling, but I've just found that that is not my style for monthly journaling, and that's okay. I'm gonna write, I planted flowers finally, just in time for the heat wave. Because Ben was giving me a hard time that I started planting flowers literally at the beginning of a super bad heat wave. But oh well. They turned out okay. I only lost 1 or 2. In time for the heat wave. Whoops. Okay. I think all I have to do is come up with 3 more things that I accomplished. I'm gonna just say something that I did, I guess, maybe at the very beginning of August. But I'm probably not gonna put it into my list for August, so I'm just gonna write it here, which is I deep cleaned the fridge. So that was a big thing, like taking out all the drawers, wiping everything down. It's a whole to-do. So I felt good about that. Yesterday I painted our ceiling, which has been patched over from fixing a crack in it for almost a year now. So the ceiling has just had pink patches on it for months, and I finally painted it white. So I did that last night, and it only took me like an hour. You know, I feel like that's always the case with those types of things you put off for so long, and then it ultimately is not actually that big of a task. It's just getting around to doing it. I could say helped Ben plan his Yellowstone trip. I think this pen is running out. I don't know. All right, I need one more. That's really driving me nuts. I'm gonna have to tape that down better. Runs. Oh, thank you, Bertha. You're very kind. Oh, that's awesome you're watching from Japan. Thank you. All right, what else did I accomplish? Oh, I know. We hosted our friend Adam multiple nights. So that's actually a big one. I wish I had gotten, I was so mad at myself. We had him on 2 separate occasions, and both times I neglected to get a photo of him and Ben. He is Ben's friend from college and was in the area for work on multiple occasions throughout July. And so we let him stay at our house, obviously, so he wouldn't have to drive far to get to work. And it was very nice having him. But yeah, you know, it's a whole thing hosting when you're trying to keep the house clean for that person, making extra dinner, making it special. So it was a very nice time, but it definitely was a thing that, you know, you had to do and took up time. And so that definitely should be on the list, and also is a good memory too that I want to remember. So there we have it. That is our little wins list. And I'm gonna call that a finished page. Obviously it is still blank under here because I'm just gonna write freeform, and I'm not gonna make you watch that, of me saying a little bit about visiting my pop-up the last time, maybe a memory or two that I'm fond of, and put that under here. But that is it, guys. That was so fun. You got to see a finished spread. It only took me an extra 24 minutes to get it done in our typical 2-hour window. But I hope that you enjoyed getting to document with me. I hope that you enjoyed the process of seeing how I think about designing a page, how I work through all of the little details and find the little things that fill in the blank and help bring it all together. So if you're interested in any of the printables that I shared with you, whether that be the bingo boards, the stickers for our not our monthly journaling, our reading journal club, or just our regular everyday kits that we do every single month, like a new chapter kit that is now available. All of them can be found over on my Patreon. And the biggest shout out and thank you to all of my patrons who make this possible. I'm so abundantly grateful for you. It's so fun getting to design these kits for you every single month, and I hope that you enjoy it. And if you're not over on Patreon, you also can become a free member. I have free printables over there for you as well, and you can get some more behind the scenes and always stay in the know when I have new videos and information about my live streams, etc. So that is definitely the place to be, and I'll look forward to seeing you again there or in my next video. Hopefully we'll be having a sort of journal flip through / reset, looking back on the first 6 months of the year and then looking forward a little bit to the last 2 quarters. I know we're already like a full month into the 3rd quarter, but bear with me. I'm not good at being on top of things like that. So I hope it'll still be enjoyable for you. So that is going to be it for this evening. Thanks for joining me live. Please do give it a thumbs up on your way out and leave a comment. And I will look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Until then, keep exploring your abiding creativity and document a life abiding in faith, hope,